Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your first gameplay and overview straight from the Air Superiority dev server for the T-90M. This is a currently rank 8 battle rating 11.7 main battle tank in the Russian Ground Forces tech tree and sits in the same line as, of course, the lesser T-90A. Now, this is more or less a complete upgrade over the T-90A. We see upgrades insofar as technology is concerned for the most part. This does have the same armament and thus the same exact shell, same cannon, same pretty much everything else. The HMG is a little bit different. We have the 6P49, whereas this has the 6P50, but otherwise, again, pretty big differences here insofar as technology is concerned, but more so insofar as armor is concerned. So the T-90M features a welded turret. It features thicker frontal turret armor as well, and more importantly, this has relic ERA, whereas the T-90A has contact 5. This is substantially better. It's 2 times as good versus kinetic, and about an additional third as good versus chemical weapons such as heat FS, explosives, things like that. So very, very effective. If I didn't already mention it, we do also have 130 more horsepower, but because this weighs 4.5 tons more, you're going to see about the same exact performance, but again, at least they added that to make up for it. Now, we also have a Spall liner in the interior, which should help protect the occupants. Also, look at this guy. He is really not sitting comfortably. But otherwise, we have tons of armor here on the side. This is removable via a modification. I would recommend keeping it because, of course, this is relic ERA. Very good. We have additional composite armor on the side here and ERA, whereas in the T-90, you do not have that. So again, very much a big upgrade insofar as survivability is concerned. Same cannon, more or less the same mobility, but upgraded survivability in a huge way. Now, the T-90M loses the Stora, but you make up for it by having, of course, the additional relic armor, which is really nice. And so overall, this is, again, a pretty big upgrade. Plus, of course, looking at this, you actually have -6 to 13 degrees of vertical guidance, whereas the T-90A has -4 to 14. So you do actually have more vertical or negative vertical guidance, which is nice. Plus, almost double the turret rotation speed. So just a big upgrade overall. That said, let's go ahead and get into a few matches, see what we could do, and have a good time. But overall, I think that this is going to be one of the toughest vehicles in War Thunder to kill, without a doubt. I mean, like, just look at this. We have versus heat FS, one of the best in game, 4,000 millimeters of armor pen, and at a pretty average angle, 3,300 millimeters. Looking at this chainmail, which they're basically treating as like solid armor right here for whatever reason, you're still getting thousands of millimeters of armor, and versus APF SDS, you're still getting 1,500 to 2,000 millimeters of armor. And even versus this chainmail, again, which they're treating like actual armor, it is just ridiculous. So let's get into a few matches, see what we could do, but man, this thing is thus far very impressive. Actually, you know what? Just before we get into this match, I just want to show you exactly how powerful this Spall liner is. It might only be 20 millimeters, but look at this. So I'm going to fire at the shot, or at the side here, typically a normally very easy shot to kill a lot of people with. Doesn't really do anything. And that's with the ERA combined, mind you. And then goes through, no spalling. And it doesn't even go through the other side of the tank either. And this is where the hardly any spalling. This is with a very powerful APF SDS, the 3PM60. Very heavy APF SDS that typically has a good amount of spalling. And there we go. It just hits one guy, no spalling. And from the front, forget about it because that Spall liner is pretty much just behind this, and you're not going to get through that because it has absolutely ridiculous armor thickness. Meanwhile, NATO tanks thus far do not have Spall liners, even though apparently they do in real life. So oddly enough, this almost kind of feels like margin, like in the smallest noticeable way, like faster than the T-90A, but maybe I'm just making that up. Maybe it's just like bias, recency bias in a way. But I can tell you this, the turret traverse, laser quick. This thing is ridiculously fast. I am genuinely really surprised by it. So bear in mind also, being that this is the dev server, there's not going to be all too many options here. Like, most of the enemies, as you can see, almost all of them are bots. So I will have to be killing a lot of bots here, more likely than not. But let's see. So this is... Ooh, that wasn't a bot. So as you can see, this has, like, what, Gen 3 thermals, if I'm not mistaken. Very nice. Let's move up. And that's an enemy, of course. Ooh, didn't really do too much. That's the 3BK60, which, of course, this has access to. Kind of want to kill that guy there. Okay, perfect. Now, of course, you do have access to 3 crew members, which kind of sucks. But that's standard Russian fare, so to speak. Let's keep on moving and grooving. Got that kill. I'm going to actually go ahead and cap the B point now. Now, we do have the same exact turret or reverse speed, unfortunately, as we did prior. And that is 4 kilometers, or I think it's like 4.6 kilometers per hour, which really sucks. But we'll have to deal with it. Oh, wow, look at that. We have ourselves a nice cannon breach hit. Again, most of these are World War II tanks, by the way. And also, when it comes to my dev server gameplay, you guys have to really bear in mind, I'm here to show, like, how these vehicles function, right? Like, give you the abilities of these vehicles, go over, like, some of their strengths and weaknesses, and also remind you that these things are subject to change. Every single stat that you see here, every single function, everything, even the models, how they look, they are all subject to change. So you, wow, that was a really, really quick reload. So you really just want to remember that as we kind of go through my gameplays from the dev server. Okay, someone's pissed off at me. Wouldn't that be something if this guy killed me? But he won't, because it's a World War II tank. Jeez. Let's see, can I shoot through that? I can, but a non-pen. Wow, that took enough steam out of my out of this shell that actually ended up being a non-pen. There we go. Now we have 6 kills, 1 assist, or 6 kills, 1 base cap rather. So we're gonna keep on moving up. Sorry about this, buddy. Oh, that's a bot. And we got ourselves the kill. Gonna keep on moving up here. Now, what I can tell you immediately, again, this thing definitely has better survivability. I mean, like, you know, just based on the stats, based on the fact that the Rolex is already in War Thunder with the BVM. It's got better survivability and then some compared to the T-90A. Also, it not only just has a relic, whereas the T-90A has contact, this has more ERA, so it's got more spaces with ERA along the side. You also have slat armor, which will help against heat FS. There is a turret bustle on the back here. Well, normally there is, that does carry ammunition, which will also help with armor or with survivability. So again, tons of things here that will assist with overall survivability. Wow. So, I don't know what he was firing, if he was firing heat FS or what, but that did not go through the side of this thing. I mean, it destroyed the ERA, unfortunately, but that's the whole point, right? Sacrifice a little bit of armor for the well-being of the vehicle. And in many ways, ERA is much better than, ooh, that is an actual, oh, okay, I guess he's dead. But in many ways, ERA is substantially more powerful than composite. Even though composite lasts longer, ERA is definitely better on a shot-by-shot basis, at least in War Thunder. And it's really crappy, too, and that's one of the reasons, at least that I've kind of surmised, why Russian vehicles tend to be a bit more powerful than other vehicles is because they have ERA, and ERA tends to be more powerful in War Thunder. Again, unfortunately. You know, with the vast majority of their actual playing team having gone, I'll say this, because I think that this match is more or less going to be over really soon. It's a very rare moment where I have, where I pretty much not only get all the gameplay I want out of one match, but I feel like I get all of my points out in one match, and this is one of those rare instances. I mean, this thing is just that good. It's a very good vehicle overall. It's got an incredible amount of armor, excellent mobility, great turret traverse. I mean, this thing is just I mean, it's I don't know. I want to say world class. I mean, it's just really, really good. And, like, even the commander's sight's really good. Like, it's got great zoom. The engine is very good. I mean, everything about this thing is very good. I mean, I really, like, of course there are weaknesses, like the rear and all that, like with any tank, but yeah, this thing's really good. But again, I mean, I got pretty much everything I wanted to say out of the way. This thing is going to be a tough nut to crack. I mean, just amazingly good. I can't really say much more than that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the other side. I'm really impressed by this thing. Take care, everyone.